Well, good morning. Hope everyone had a great evening last night. The Empire State Building was fabulous. If you're able to join us at the cocktail hour, probably one of the best events I've been at here in New York over the last few days. Wanted to thank you all for joining us today at 2011 Business Climate. PwC is proud to host today's event here at our offices at 300 Madison, and we hope you enjoy this sessions throughout the day. I'm Kathy Nieland, and I lead the PwC U.S. Sustainable Business Solutions practice. I've got many colleagues with me today, so hope you can get a chance to interact with them and introduce yourselves today. We're proud to sponsor Business Climate this year. This was our second year working with Andrew. It was really inspiring to us last year as we brought together a series of different constituents, both those that were really focused on the environment, on climate change, on having an impact there, as well as those that are really focused on business and transformation. Last year's event really allowed us to obtain insights that really created PwC's point of view as it relates to transformation and sustainability, and that's what a lot of what we'll talk about today, and what my colleague Don Reed will talk about first thing this morning. Also wanted to maybe just share a few remarks as we get started today. Just 9 months ago, PwC published our Global CEO Survey. And in connection with that survey, we inquired of over 1,200 CEOs what their vision was about the future and gained insights into their strategies. And what they told us gave us reason for optimism in the coming years. First, nearly half of those CEOs were very confident about growth in the coming year. And we've seen that through the first half of this fiscal year with record earnings being reported by most organizations. But also what they told us is that they were 94% confident that they would grow over the next 3 years. So those were great insights, giving us lots of reasons for PwC to get excited. Although daily news shows that we've got an uneven recovery here, we think CEOs are really emerging from this recession with an idea of growth. And as many of you know, PwC has a major role working with the Carbon Disclosure Project. We are the report writer and a global advisor for the CDP. Working with the CDP, as well as working with our clients and working with the CEO survey, we really have come up with a point of view that says that really leading companies are now starting to embed sustainability and climate change within the organization's business strategy. So really taking a step away from what I'll call the side sustainability agenda and embedding it within the organization's overall business strategy. We also see many companies seeing strategic advantage, and now starting to report that through. So they're showing that they've got reduced operating costs, they've got new revenue streams coming from embedding those business issues in their overall strategy. So we think at PwC that we see a permanent shift in how this is being viewed, that it's becoming mainstream in organizations. Now, it's unfortunate, though, that a lot of the reasons why that's occurring is because of the prominence of some of these critical risks. Energy and natural resources continuing to become constrained, commodity prices and volatility there, costs rising, regulations like Dodd-Frank, conflict minerals, and frankly, sourcing of critical minerals are all becoming more strategic and critical near-term business issues. We're also seeing investor pressures around reporting of this information about responsible behavior, and then consumer pressures as well. So those are the drivers we see as to why our clients are integrating these issues into their overall strategies. We also see, though, leading companies kind of taking advantage of those. So areas like greenhouse gas emissions reporting and understanding of what your footprint is are actually starting to translate it into business opportunities for our clients, because they're understanding that all things being equal, a green product or a green focus, if you will become differentiating for you. We also see companies putting in place programs, procedures, and controls to generate higher level board intelligence on these issues. So there's a lot of competing demands for boards right now. There's a lot of regulations that they have to deal with in the U.S., but these business risks are showing up in the boardroom now. We also see clients making more sophisticated resource allocation decisions, and we're also seeing them really take a look at kind of decoupling the supply chain and really understanding how they can actually have an impact on the companies that actually serve them. Those companies are reducing costs, and they're again creating new revenue streams. However, as my colleague Don Reed will talk about this morning, we think that there's some work to be done here, and it's our point of view that the transformation is just beginning. So even though these business risks are incorporated into the business strategy, they aren't necessarily integrated in the organization, and we think that's the next step to come. We see many organizations that have a focus on the supply chain and reduction of carbon emissions and that supply chain haven't yet figured out how to integrate those choices with other priorities, such as quality of the supplier, financial stability of that supplier, and maybe reputational risk. So very important in that they're prioritizing sustainability-related issues within the supply chain strategy, but they're not integrating that decision and weighting that in a way that makes sense for the overall organization long-term. We think the natural evolution for companies is to transform to be truly sustainable. And as we'll talk about today, leveraging that sustainability to optimize a business is really the foundation for what we see as growth within our client base. Of course, that hopefully will translate into economic prosperity and continued growth here. So with that, on behalf of PwC, I want to thank you all for joining us today. Okay, I look forward to hearing from our speakers throughout the day and having a great dialogue with all of you. And I would like to invite my colleague, Don Reed, who has got over 25 years of experience focused on the environment, focused on consulting with clients. And he's really going to talk about that next stage of integration that's required for transformation and sustainability. So please join me in welcoming Don Reed.